Welcome on into Sports Memo Today. You know us, you love us for your actionable information in 30 minutes or less. It's a Tuesday, which means $2 Tuesday edition here of the show. And you can up that ante and get 3 handicappers for just $5 over at sportsmemo.com. Also over at wagertalk.com, one of my mainstays on Wager Talk Extra, Andy Lang's got a $2 play, a 5% on NBA. But right here at Sports Memo, we're going to be talking to one of the guys who's got a $2 play posted for today. Dan Kaiser going to be batting leadoff. He's got a free NHL play for you and a free NBA play for you before we break down what he's looking at tonight with a 5-star play. Moneyline Matt's got a $2 Tuesday top total bet on the hardwood. That's an NBA action. And then for you college hoops junkies, I mean, March right around the corner, right, quite literally tomorrow, we're going to be talking some March Madness action here. And the Gold Sheet is our $2 Tuesday handicapper as well at Sports Memo. They've got a NCAA basketball top choice 14-5 run that the Gold Sheet's been turning in. So you can get all kinds of experts all housed under one with the Gold Sheet. Get all 3 of those plays I just mentioned for just $5. Go to sportsmemo.com. All right, nothing to it but to do it. Let's get to it and welcome in one of my favorites. And typically it's just an all Dan affair when I have Dan Kaiser stopping by and joining me on the show. sm.buzz/DK. And Dan, we do have a guest following you up, so you didn't scare everyone off, brother, but how you been since we talked last?
I'm doing really well. The NHL's been picking up and doing really well on that, and just getting ready for baseball and March Madness and everything else in between.
Yeah, and that's the thing is so many people think, oh, football's over. What am I going to do with my bankroll? I mean, Dan Kaiser quite literally some of that living proof of building the bankrolls in some of these off seasons for football bettors, so to speak. Up 10 units in the last week alone in NHL. And if you're looking at money line plays this season, he's about to give you a free one here on the show. How about 21-13, up 18 units on NHL money line plays? So let's start there. You mentioned the ice, and it's clearly heating up for you. And we got the all Florida affair, all Dan affair, all Florida affair. Florida Panthers visiting the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tampa Bay, I mean, it's a little bit of chalk you have to lay around 160, trending towards 165, but the decent home favorite as they're going up against the Panthers coming off a loss. How are you going to be betting this one, Dan?
Yeah, this game was my $2 Tuesday play until I got knocked off by the play I got up there for the night. But yeah, both these teams, they've been somewhat inconsistent this year. But you got to expect that from Tampa Bay, just of what they've done over the last 3 years, in making their runs at the Cup. But they're starting to play a little bit better. But you look at this Florida team, they're going to be at a disadvantage tonight. They're definitely out with going to be without one of their top 2 centers in this game. They could be without both of them, as the other guy's questionable for this game. And you just look at over the last 4 games. Florida's averaging 3.5 goals a game, while Tampa Bay's putting up over 4 goals a game. Tampa Bay's dominated this series recently, winning 7 of the last 8 games. Tampa Bay's at home. They got a huge edge in the net. I know it's a big number at -160, but you know what? Sometimes you got to lay money to make money, and I just think Tampa Bay's the better team and playing a little bit better hockey at the moment, and I think they'll take down Florida at home.
And for what it's worth, you only lay juice when the play doesn't get home. So Tampa Bay is a bit of a home favorite there, but also rightfully so. Tampa Bay just been an absolute force, especially at home. And now Florida Panthers, do they bounce back? I don't know. They'll have to do it against a red-hot Tampa Bay team. As I mentioned, red-hot in the NHL is Dan Kaiser. You can get his 5-star center ice best of the best play, and you just got the one that just missed the cut, was just a little outside for Dan Kaiser. You can grab that premium play, just $2, up the ante, and get 3 plays for just $5. So you mentioned the ice. Also, the hardwood been pretty good to you, but let's start by talking about this OKC Thunder team as they're facing off against the Sacramento Kings, as the Kings actually come into town to take on OKC. And we're seeing OKC as a money line underdog. However, it's not that sizable. So sometimes that tells me, could the home dog be barking? What does Dan Kaiser think?
Yeah, I think they'll definitely be barking in this one. And if you've been playing or following OKC or playing them this year, they've been really good, especially as a road dog. But they haven't been too bad as a home dog either. The only thing you're kind of going against the grain here is that you're still not sure if Shea Gilchrist-Alexander will be playing in this one. He's missed the last 3 games. They expect him back, and there's talk that they may hold him out because they take on the Lakers in the next game. But without LeBron playing, maybe they'll figure they don't really need him and we'll play him tonight. But I don't think it matters, as we've seen in the past, and I've made the mistake, in the past that you see some stars out, you think the team's gonna just fold up and die, but then everybody else on that team steps up and they take care of business. I think that's what's going to happen today. This OKC team has been playing really good, some good basketball, keeping the games close. They're at home, and I think you may see a little bit of fatigue here in the Kings as they've played some multiple games in over a short period of time coming into this one. So I think they may be a step slow in this one. So I'm going to take the home team in this one at plus 122 and roll the dice.
Looking at a spot that has been rather kind to the Thunder there as they're taking on the Kings tonight, plus 122. And if you're trying to add some plus units to your bankroll, how about the posted NBA Moneyline plays? You just gave you one there for free, 8 and 2 for premium clients. That's up over 10 units on the season. And Dan, we mentioned it, but when people head on over to your page, get that $2 Tuesday play. What are we looking at for that one? I believe an NHL play, correct me if I'm wrong. And then what else, anything else that you have loaded or that you're getting ready as tournament actions right around the corner, heating up in college basketball?
Yeah, the play today, it is on the ice. It's in the, it's late tonight. It's the Boston Bruins game. So it will be a side play on that. Yeah, that's the only play I got going today. But yeah, I'm really looking at these college tournaments because I tend to do really well in these, especially the smaller tournaments. So yeah, you'll see a heavy dose of that coming up, and then hockey, and I kind of hunt and peck at the NBA and just put up the plays that I really like. So you'll see hockey, college basketball, and a few NBA plays tossed in there.
A little bit of everything from my man Dan Kaiser. It was great having him back on the show. Make sure you show him some love below in the comments. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and especially go grab that $2 Tuesday play. sm.buzz/DK. Grab it now. And also add the extra $3. Get the gold sheet with an NCAA play and money line mat with a total here in NBA action. So from Dan Kaiser, we head on to the Iceman himself, Jesse Schule, sm.buzz/JS. And Jesse, always a pleasure having you on, man. And I have a feeling you're going to be coming with some plus money plays. It's kind of become your MO, is that you're basically become Jesse plus money Schule here on SportsMemo Today. Am I right in that thinking that you have something queued up for the folks here today?
Well, Dan, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We've had some success with the plus money plays. So, of course, I do have one for you.
All right, so we'll end with that one. We'll make people stick around because, hey, maybe a money line sprinkle on a potential barking dog tonight. When you were, we were chatting before the show in our Slack channel, this play was prefaced with F it. So I'm wondering, how excited are you and how strong of a feeling do you have here on Texas Tech taking on Kansas? We're looking at about a 9.5-point favorite for Kansas. And are you really about to try and talk me into the Texas Tech Raiders here, Jesse? Floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, Dan, the reason I said F it is because I would have preferred to come with a plus money play and a futures play. But of course, we don't have lines on the conference tournaments yet. But I was planning on mentioning the Red Raiders. Once the conference tournament starts, I've got my eye on this Texas Tech team to do something like what we saw Virginia Tech do last year. And the reason I say that is they probably need to win the Big 12 tournament if they want to go to the NCAA tournament. They're just 5-11 in the Big 12. They lost their first 8 conference games. They got off to a terrible start. But if you've watched Texas Tech lately, they've won 4 of their last 5, and they're coming off an 83-82 home loss to TCU. This is not the same Texas Tech team that started the season in disarray. And of course, they opened as a 10-point dog against Kansas. And in the Big 12, it's like death and taxes. Kansas is always the big dog, always the champs of the Big 12. So it's not so surprising to see them laying a big number here, but the history definitely favors Texas Tech getting the points. These teams have played 8 straight head-to-head meetings decided by less than 10. Last year, Texas Tech lost at Kansas 94-91 in overtime. The previous season, they lost at Kansas by a score of 67-61. So this 9.5 is just looking a little bit too chalky for me. I like Texas Tech to cover, and I will add that moving forward, come conference tournament time, I like Texas Tech as an underdog in the tournament.
Yeah, conference tournaments, this is a really great time to grab some of that, either 30-day all access, maybe get you through March Madness, the NCAA tournament. We have a great deal that we're running both at sportsmemo.com and wagertalk.com to get you this college access all through college basketball tournaments. So check that loaded on the deal page there, because as Jesse mentioned, and really Dan did as well, these conference tournaments, there are so many things that need to be posted on the board. If you really ISO in on one conference or one team and maybe their path that they potentially have, this is a major potential money-making spot for you with bettors. So ride with some of the best on the hardwood. Jesse Schule, one of them for sure. So Jesse, we made the folks wait a little bit, but as promised, Mr. Perfect himself is trying to go perfect here with a La Liga to lead in scoring player prop here. And just because every time the guy scores, he has one of the most electric calls behind him, I think I might just be getting some money out of my pocket. And it's not just because of your record here on free plays on Sports Memo Today. What are we looking at? Who's leading the La Liga in scoring this year?
Well, a guy by the name of Benzema! Karim Benzema.
Well,
he's the Ballon d'Or winner last year. He did lead La Liga in scoring, scored 27 goals in 32 games. That's 9 more than the number 2 guy. Benzema scored 15 goals in 12 games in the Champions League last year, but he's been injured this year, so he's kind of out of sight, out of mind. He's tied for second in scoring with 11 goals in 14 games. He's 4 back of Robert Lewandowski, who plays for Barcelona. But he's healthy. He just scored 2 goals in a Champions League game against Liverpool. Based on his history and his form, he's pretty much the best player in the world right now and has been for the last 2 years. They're offering 6-1 on him to lead or to win the scoring title in La Liga, and I think that's great value.
I love it. You don't have to talk me into it much. When you're looking at a 6-1, you can shop around, maybe even find some closer to 7-1, even 8-1s out there in the marketplace. So we're looking, I can't do the call as well as you did, but Benzema to lead La Liga in scoring. So, hey, man, we talked college basketball and we talked some soccer here, but really, let's not let you leave the show without talking what you've been doing on the ice. The Iceman, of course, running hot in NHL. 10-1 run that you're on. And I think you're testing that run here tonight with a premium client play, correct?
That's right. I've been so focused on college basketball and NBA that I didn't even realize how well my hockey was going. But, I've only been putting out 1 or 2 games a week, but they've mostly been winning. And I've isolated a good one tonight, the final day of February, and it's the game of the month. It's a 5-star play that you're not going to want to miss.
You don't want to miss it, and you can grab it right now, sm.buzz/JS. When you're at his page, just go to the homepage and grab that $5 triple play. Get the Gold Sheet Moneyline Matt, Dan Kaiser, just $5. That's our gift to you here at SportsMemo.com. You like the show? You enjoy what the experts have to say, whether you agree with you, whether you disagree, hop below in those comments. Let us know what you're thinking tonight or as we head into conference tournament action. Make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss any of our great shows here at Sports Memo TV and Wager Talk TV. And that does it for us. Big thanks to Jesse Schule and my man Dan Kaiser. I'm Dan Alexander, and we will be back on Thursday with another 4-pack of free plays just for you only on Sports Memo Today.